Web development is dead. Yes, I'm just kidding. Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the national anthem of software development. And if web development is the first thing that comes to your mind, then you are very correct. If you're joining this channel for the first time, please subscribe and turn on your notification. A lot of amazing content will be made available. So let's go right into it. When we say web development, of course, I know a lot of people are very much familiar with that particular word. Web development or web designs, it's all the same thing. What does it mean when we say you want to go into web development, or you are a web developer, or you are building web apps? So in a very simple and short term, I would put it that web development is just the process of you building applications that runs on the internet. That's like application that runs on the web, and you use your phone's browser or your laptop browser to access those applications. And basically, web applications are just like collections of digital documents that are kept somewhere in someone's computer, which is usually called a server. And then we access those documents from wherever we are located, provided we are connected to the internet using our browser. So basically, the number one tool you can use to access web applications is your browser, and of course they need to be on the internet for them to be available for people. But now here is another question. So what is this internet? I know a lot of us, if you're watching this video, it means you're probably using the internet right now. But I know not so many people understand what is happening when it comes to internet. So what do we mean by internet, or what does the internet means? Internet is just a collection of interconnected computers, big, small, large, little computers from different parts of the world that are connected together. And on this network, there are so many services going on. So it's not just websites that are available on the internet, as you know, a lot of people will just assume. So you say, I'm using the internet, I'm browsing on the internet. Yeah, you are actually browsing on the internet, but that service you're using is just one of so many things that are happening on the internet. So when you build a website, what happens is you write everything that is needed on your laptop, and then you take them to somebody else's laptop that is connected to the internet. Not as if you cannot use your laptop or your desktop, but the big question is, can your desktop be connected to the internet 24 hours without it going off? Do you have lights? Do you have data? So if you have all of these things, of course you can host everything on your laptop, and you are also going to be in charge of all the security of your website. But if you don't want to take care of all this, then you have to take all of your web applications and then keep them in somebody else's computer, which is known as a server. And those people then take charge of the security, making sure that your website is up and running 24/7 and it doesn't go up. So what and what are needed in web development, or what are the components that constitute a web application? Now, before we go deeper into the component, we have to consider the different sections that are in web applications. So we have the front end part of web applications, and we also have the back end part of web applications. What is the difference? The front end is the front view, where the user of the website gets to interact, like the interface of the website, all of your colors, your pictures, your input area, everything that the user gets to interact with is the front end. While at the back end is where the logic are, for example, your database, your authentications, all of the other processes that happen at the back that the user doesn't interact with directly. For example, if a user fills in a form with his username and password, he's interacting with the front end. By the time he submits that form and the username and password gets sent to the back, some checks need to be done to confirm if the name and the password correspond. And then this happen at the back end. The user don't have anything to do with that. The user cannot interfere with that. He just have to wait and get the response. If the details are correct, the user gets logged in successfully. If the details are not correct, the user gets error message and stuff like that. So you can choose to focus on the front end, you can choose to be at the back end, and you can choose to be a full stack, which means you are at the front and you are also at the back. Well, it depends on what you want to do, but I would be covering all round for the front end, the back end, and for those that want to be full stack. So basically in the front end, we are looking at things like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to give you a very good and nice looking and responsive design. And for the back end, well, there are a lot of languages that are available for you to use at the back end. We have JavaScript, we have Python, we have Go, and some of these choices depend on what functionalities will be available at the back end and how intensive the computation will happen at the back end. That would also affect which language you should use at the back end. But for the front end, it's basically these three: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then it's not just enough for you to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. At some point, you would need to learn frameworks that are built on top of these three tools that can allow you to work very, very fast and efficiently, with little time, because you would not have to be writing everything from scratch yourself. Then for your backend, like I said, well, you just have to pick any of the language of your choice, and depending on what you want to build, then there are also frameworks in these languages that can also allow you to build your web applications easily. But now there is this concern: is web development still worth it in this year 2025? Like, can I still get a job if I am learning web development? So I would be very, very honest with you. It's not so very easy to get a job with just skills of web development. I'm going to give you reasons, of course. It's not just saying, but there are reasons to back that up. So currently, there are a lot of people pumping into the web development area simply because it takes you little effort to start. You just need either a phone or a laptop, a browser, and a text editor, and you can go into web development. So anybody can just have a phone, have a laptop, go to YouTube, get resources, and start to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and they proclaim themselves web developers. So we have a lot of people now in the space that they claim they are web developers. So what that means is that the supply is higher than the demand currently. So it means for you to be able to secure the job, you cannot just rely on knowing just HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript like it used to be before. So the bar has been raising up a little bit. Now you have to do a lot of work. You have to prove yourself worthy, out of so many. You have to really show that you are exceptional. So there is a kind of a gap between junior developers and senior developers, while at the middle level we have very, very few people available. Now for you to be able to transition from junior, of course, to a mid-level developer, you need that experience. You need to work on something. So before now, you can easily get a placement with your little knowledge, and then you can then learn and gain the experience. But now, so many people are into the game. So we have more than we need. Now we need people that have more than what every other person has, for us to give that person the job. So it means if you are going into web development in this year, just know that the competition is high, especially for juniors. So it means you would have to put a lot of effort you have to work twice as hard as people that get into web development in the last 5 years or in the last 7 years or even in the last 4 years. You have to do twice what people that learned previously did, because the bar has been risen. So yes, there is job for web developers. The market is only saturated for junior developers because we have so many people that don't really know much but they claim to be web developers. So if there is a job advert for junior web developer, you find millions of people applying, while in these millions of people, not maybe up to 200 really understand what is happening there. A lot of them are just applying and then I don't know, they are just trying their luck. So jobs are very much available, but you have to be exceptional. So you have to do a lot of work. You have to work on project that makes sense, project that gives you experience, project that are very close to things that are happening in the industry. So before now, people just build like note app for note taking or to-do list, and then they say, oh, I've worked on a project, and they easily get hired. But nowadays, no, the to-do app doesn't work, the note app don't work anymore. You have to build real world application that has a lot of challenges and how you are able to accomplish or solve those challenges. So it's now you giving yourself the experience yourself, not waiting for somebody to hire you as a junior developer to give you that experience. So instead of working on very small project that will not give you real world experience, you have to by yourself pick challenging project that will give you experience of what is happening in the industry. So it means you have to do a lot of work for you to stay relevant in web development. And I made mention of front-end, back-end, and the full stack. So it also depends. If you are very good with designs, front-end can be very sweet for you. There's this creativity that comes when you are very good in design, that you can just imagine and create something and create some kind of beautiful designs from your head. Someone who is not good with design is going to struggle coming up with very nice interface. It might just end up copying people's design, just to be able to fit in. And then there are my type that are in love with the logical part, so we don't have any business to do with the front end. We are at the back end cooking all the logic that needs to, provide all the data for the front end. And of course, for those that have all the strength, you can learn both the back and the front. But I can tell you for free that it's not going to be easy. But of course, they say whatever it is that you agree you want to venture into, it's not going to be hard for you. So tell me, would you want to still go into web development and put twice as hard the effort of people who learned previously? And if you're going into, would you want to go into front end or back end, or you have all the strengths that you would go into full stack? Let me know in the comment section, and make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification. I would also be making a series of videos on web development from the front end to the back end, so you make sure you stay around so that you can get those content when they are very much available. I hope to see you around next time. Bye.